everyone, this is Scott from Adirondack Riders. This is the year-end video for the 2024-25 snowmobile season. It is March 16th and my riding season is over. Last weekend we were up at camp and we put Jamie and Angel's sleds away. We cleaned up camp, closed it up, and this weekend here I took care of my sleds. I changed the oil in Andrea's. She's got a 4-stroke. I changed the oil in it, and mine I just cleaned her up a little bit and she's all set. Yesterday I put everything away inside the trailer, got it all buttoned up, things put back where it should be for storage. The only thing I have to do is I got to back the sleds out and I will wash them and clean them and wax them, and I'll clean up the trailer floor. I am going to finish the trailer walls. I'll insulate it and put Luan up like I did the front up in the V. I put Luan up there, it's all insulated. A couple little things I'm going to do. But yeah, it was a great season. A lot happened this year. I started a YouTube channel. I think I'm up to 31 subscribers. Thanks everybody for subscribing. Don't forget, subscribing is free, so just hit that subscribe button. This here, I was going to do a review on my sled after about a month, but this season was so good I did not want to take the time to talk about the sled. I just wanted to ride. But I can tell you, this is a 2024 Arctic Cat Catalyst 600. It's the new platform from Arctic Cat. I was riding a Yamaha before this. Like I said in earlier videos, we're not married to any one manufacturer. We'll ride them all. Now, I just happened to pick this one here. There was a lot of hype about it. When I bought this trailer the same day. When I did buy it, I bought it with the G8 and I had to buy a new cowl. Obviously they had the sled there. It was in a crate. They had to put it together, and it had the factory gauge on it, but the G8 was a option, so I bought the option and I elected to buy the new cowl so I didn't have to cut the factory cowl. I studded it. I put a full front bumper on it. The wind guards, I bought the Arctic Cat wind guards with the lights on it, and Andrea got me a attach bag for Christmas. The G8, and I'll start it real quick just to get the G8 to fire up. I gotta do is send power to it and she'll continue to boot up. It does have a Garmin in it. It's an awesome gauge. I've never had a sled before with a gauge like this. It's pretty comparable to the Polaris, I think they call that S7. But there's a lot of features on this. It's no different than a Garmin that's in your vehicle. I can toggle through it from the handlebar here, but as you can see right here, that is my miles. 1,953.6 miles I rode this season. This was a brand new sled, had 0 miles on it, and I put 1,953 miles on it. Here on the thumb I can toggle through, well, I guess it has to be running to do that, but the G8 is pretty cool the way I have it set up. It's waypoints, so anywhere where you see orange is a trail that I was previously on or did ride. So up on the trails as we get going. If you ever get lost, confused, or whatever, you can just follow your way back. Like any other Garmin, you can put in search if you want to go somewhere to eat. You can also find gas ahead. You can find a place to stay if you're out on a long ride and you're going to spend the night somewhere. You can find hotels and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. There's more to it than what I'm telling you, but it's a snowmobile, and I just used the main ones for the riding of the snowmobile trails. But yeah, so that there was my sled this year. I'm sitting on Andrea's. She did not start out on this sled. She was riding a 2018 Arctic Cat Lynx 2000. She rode that last year. She is a new rider. She rode it last year, and then this year here, I kept noticing, Jamie and I kept noticing, she got better as the year went on last year. This year here, she got better and better. So in order for her to enjoy the ride more, we went out and we bought her a 2024 Polaris XC 4-stroke. It's a great sled. She got right on it, and I think within the first 5 or 6 miles, she totally forgot about the Arctic Cat that she was riding. This one here handles and rides so much better for her, and I'm glad that we made this purchase for her. The only thing we did was we added a higher windshield, but yeah, she got this February 14th, and she already has 538 miles or 638 miles on this one, and she put about 1,000 miles on her Arctic Cat. So she too had a good riding season. I started riding December 26. I went by myself. I was anxious to ride my new sled, and then the 27th I went with a friend, Jeremy. Him and I rode, and then that Saturday, Andrea and I went by ourselves, because at that time Jamie and Angel were both sick with the flu that was going around. And that Saturday, Andrea and I rode 218 miles. That was my longest ride of the season. Her and I left Standish, New York, and we rode to Piercefield and back. That was a almost 12-hour day for us. But other than that, it was a great season. Also, too, Jamie and Angel end up buying a Sidewinder partway through the season. Angel's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Facto, they ride with us, and they were on a 2005 Arctic Cat Pantera. I think it was a 2005, and it's not a comfortable. Back in the day, it was probably a great sled, but being 22 years old, it wasn't that comfortable for them. So Jamie and Angel bought a 2020 Sidewinder, and they let Angel's parents ride their 2019 Bombardier Grand Touring, and they enjoy that ride a lot better. They're a little bit older, so they can have a better ride and feel better the next day. But yeah, it was a great riding season. Trails were awesome all the way through. I really did think I was going to hit 2,000 miles, but the warm-up happened so fast. That didn't happen. I would have bet I was going to hit 2,000 miles, but still, it was a great season. I do have some work that I want to do on my trailer. Like I said, I'm going to finish the walls. I'm going to insulate and put Luan up like I did in the front. I found out this season Up front there, I have 2 diesel heaters. You can see the ports there where they blow out. They do a great job. I can get this 90 degrees in here, high 80s, low 90s, and it thaws out everything on our sleds. Everything, suspension, it's not froze. Nothing is froze on these sleds. So when it melts all that snow, it pools up, and I didn't think that was going to happen. And it turns out the gasket on the door is so good, it doesn't allow the water to run out. And up at camp where I park, obviously the driveway is not 100% level, which is no big deal. And actually I kind of like the way that it's set up. The water rolls to one side of the trailer, happens to be the side my sled is on. After the heaters thaw out the sleds, the water sits there. And throughout time, because it's so far away from the heater in the back, it'll freeze up. So there's mornings where I'll have 3-4 inches of frozen ice in the back corner. The rest of the water that is still liquid, when I open the door to take the sleds out to go ride the next morning, as soon as the water touches the aluminum frame on the trailer, it immediately freezes. And then I can't close the door fully because of the ice in the door jamb. So I had to use a hammer and a screwdriver to chip the ice away to get the door to close. It was a pain in the donkey. So the last several weeks I took a butane torch up with me, and when that happened, I used the torch to melt the ice away so I could get the door closed. So I have an idea. So I got caliber on the trailer floor here. I got caliber ski guides, and I got the track mats for the studs. And right where there's no track mat, I'll just right on the regular floor. I had an idea. I went out and I bought a double pack of sink drains, and I got the hole saw. But before I start drilling any holes, I'm going to think this over, because once you drill a hole in your floor, that's it. But I'm thinking about putting a sink drain in the floor where I know the water pools up, because it did it all winter long. So when the sleds are in here and it is being thawed out, the water will be able to go out the drain. I know there's a cross piece in the drain, but I'm going to take a hole saw and drill right through that to open it right up. And it has the basket to where I can put it over the top, stop critters from climbing up the hole in the summertime. But I'll figure something out. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I'm definitely going to put a drain in the floor, because the heaters that I have, they do work very well. So snowmobile season is over. Jamie's my brother. He does have a YouTube channel. It's called Nice to Be Me. Him and Angel are already getting ready for their next season, and they do a ton of side-by-side, and he has a group of 12 to 15 people that he rides up here. Not only do they have the snowmobile camp in Owl's Head, but they also have a camper that's in Steel City campgrounds in Lime Mountain. That's where they leave when they do their side-by-side. They leave from there and they go, and he also goes to West Virginia a few weeks at a time and rides the Hatfield and McCoy trail down there. For me, I like to fish. I trout fish. I fish ponds. I don't fish lakes. I don't fish for bass. Not that anything like that is wrong, but I like pond fishing in the Adirondacks. Some of them are up where we snowmobile. C7 goes right by several of the ponds I fish in, but I troll for trout. I use a barbless hook. I catch and release. Only time I keep them is if something happens and they swallow the hook, or they bleed, I will keep it and clean them, and I give them away. I don't eat a lot of fish. So yeah, that's April 1st is the start of fishing season. I have a ton of projects I want to do around the house here. This year here, I'm going to put all brand new siding on the house and doors and windows. And in the back, we were just talking about it yesterday. I was going to build a 4-season room. I'm not going to do it this year. This year here, I'm gonna pour a 16 by 30 concrete pad. I'm gonna stamp it. The part that's behind the garage, I'm gonna turn that into a outdoor kitchen, and probably next year where I want to build the 4-season room, it'll just be built on a concrete pad. But yeah, there's a lot that I want to do. There's a lot that I do. Not that I don't ride side-by-sides. I would love to, but if I got a side-by-side, nothing would get done around the house, and I can't let that happen. Lucky for Jamie is a retired CO. He retired from Dannemora prison. I think he's been retired 6 years or 7 years now. He got to retire when he was in his 40s. He did his time and retired. I'm 6 years older than Jamie. I'm still working, and I'm probably going to work until I'm 67. I'm going to go to full retirement. But yeah, this was a great season. As far as for Andrea's sled, this is the sled that we got her. It's the Polaris XC. It's 137 inch. It's the S4 Pro Star. I guess it's the same engine that they put in some of their side-by-sides. It does have eco mode, normal mode, and sport mode. She loves it. I tried it. I got to ride it 7 miles, and she wanted her sled back. But I got to try it, and tell you what, Polaris puts out a good sled. That is a really nice ride right there, especially for her. As far as mine, the Arctic Cat Catalyst 600, like I said, this is probably one of the best all-around sleds I've ever owned. But I can tell you, if you want to take this out on the lake and race it, this is not the sled. It will not hit triple digits. I did have it to 94, but I can tell you, from 0 to 65, 70, there's not many sleds, I don't think, that's going to pull away from it. Going through the small trails, the whoop-de-doos, in the woods, all that short cornering, this sled right here will lead the way, and I know that for sure. It is a 600. I think it's 125 horsepower, but I can tell you, if I were to pull the 600 stickers off this sled and let somebody ride it, they would not think that this sled is a 600 until they looked at the speedometer full bore, that it will not hit triple digits. But out of the hole, in the woods, in all the tight corners, over any mogo. Now, I don't do a lot of jumping. That's just not me. But because it is the RXC, and I heard so much about it, they do use this for snowcross racing. I tried taking some jumps with it, and the first one, I did it with caution, and when I hit, that wasn't bad. So then I started taking bigger jumps, and it's like landing on a marshmallow. My rear suspension is set to the lowest setting, and I did not bottom this sled out one time. When I first got on it and started riding it, it did give me a little concern. I actually thought about trading it in, because it was on the softest setting, and it was pretty stiff. And I know another YouTuber, Munson Motorsports, he has the 858, and he was saying the same thing, that the suspension was way too stiff, and you couldn't soften any. But for me, I know he put out some videos where he was working on the suspension and putting different shocks or whatever on it. But for me, for this, the more I rode it, the suspension was breaking in, and towards the end it got to be a really good ride. I'm totally happy with it. I'm gonna ride it another year. It's a 2-stroke, so hopefully next year will be a good riding season like this one. I'll have to rebuild the top half, and I will trade this in. Not that I want to, but I'm going to trade it in for a 4-stroke. I'm going to go back to a 4-stroke. I am 60 years old, and I'll probably end up buying one more sled and make it last, hopefully, until can't ride anymore. But for this year here, trying this new Catalyst platform, it was a great choice. I'm glad I did it. The thing that was pretty cool was up here in northeastern New York, we're on the Canadian border and on the border of Vermont. The bigger city right here where I live is Plattsburgh. I bought this in Plattsburgh. Taylor Rental Power Sports, Plattsburgh, New York. I didn't see any other Catalysts on the trail. I saw one other. It was next to the last weekend, or it was the last weekend that we actually rode. I saw one other Catalyst. Other than that, not one I didn't see one Catalyst all season long on the trail at all, which I thought was pretty odd. At first, I thought it was pretty cool because I got all the looks. You know, you go through Charlie's parking lot and all that stuff, and the guys out in the parking lot, you know, they see the green machine come through. But I really thought I was going to see more Catalysts, and I didn't. And obviously next year, Arctic Cat is not making sleds. I heard that they have enough sleds to put together. It'll be basically the same sled as this. Nothing new, but hopefully somebody can buy them and they can put out some sleds for 26. Like I said before, we are not married to any one manufacturer. We are not afraid to try a sled as long as the sled in our class that we want to ride. We never go off. We hardly ever go off trail. We do not ride mountain. So as long as it's a good, comfortable trail sled, we will ride it. But yeah, so that there is that. This was a great season. I hope you had a great season. I don't know. The sled season is over with for me. Like I said, I got my sleds all set for storage. I did take the trailer early this morning at 7 o'clock. I drove it down. I brought it down to the car wash, and I washed it inside the car wash. I'm back home in the driveway. There are a few things that I'm going to do. I'll probably make some videos of that. But the next season for me coming up is fishing season and some do-it-yourself work around the house. So I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel. Like I said, I got 31. The great thing about subscribing to anybody's channel is it doesn't cost you nothing. Just click. This is a lot of work. I never thought it was going to be a lot of work to have a channel. All the editing and whatnot. And I know when I first started my channel, I didn't have a camera, so everything was done with a cell phone. I did not have a computer. So I did all the editing from my cell phone, and that was a huge, huge, huge pain in the donkey, I can tell you that. But I do have my DJI Osmo Action 4. Jamie talked me into getting it. If I was going to get a camera, that was the one to get, and I bought a laptop, and yeah, my videos, my first few videos, you can tell that I was a rookie, and you still can tell that I'm a rookie, but the video quality, first several were I was a rookie, and then you can see the difference when I got the computer. You can really see the difference when I got the camera. The camera makes a big difference. I'm gonna buy a couple more for next year. I know the first two videos I made, I had the camera mounted to the front bumper, and that's pretty amazing. I'm gonna go with one more DJI Osmo 4, and I think I'm gonna do the Insta 360. So hopefully next snowmobile season I'll have 3 cameras, one on my helmet, one on the front bumper and one on the rear bumper. We'll see. Or I might even stick one on Andrea's sled so I get a different view from that. But yeah, I hope everybody had a good, safe riding season, and see you next time.